friends. Welcome to What's Good in Your Neighborhood. I'm Lauren Nicole, and I have the distinct pleasure of being joined today with artist, golfer, sports enthusiast, roofer, business owner extraordinaire, Rory from Cornerstone Roofing and Gutter. Welcome in.
Hi, Lauren.
I'm counting on your voice today, sir.
Are you?
I am.
Now you got me all
say you
blushing.
do radio,
I didn't know it was
you
going to
sing
be
songs. I thought we were just talking about roofs. We have so many things that we can go.
Yeah, well, that was quite the introduction. Thank
you. You're welcome. You're the one with all the things. So we're talking about today primarily something that's so critical to Southern Colorado, wind and hail damage on our roofs. And I would love to start with why do we have so many wind and hail problems here in Southern Colorado?
So, we're considered like the hail belt of America. And, it has a lot to do with the Front Range and our mountains. So when those big storms and those big fronts come through and they hit our mountains and those mountains push those up.
Yeah.
And the higher they go, the more turbulence there is with the heat that they hit from, and of course, I'm sure one of your meteorologists probably be better off.
It's above my pay grade, Rory. It's above my pay grade. But I'm sure she knows.
But it has to do with the mountains. And so those clouds come over and they rise so high that the hail or the raindrops
they sit
get
up
thrown
there.
back in and they get heavy. And
Yeah.
the cloud can't hold those anymore. And
so when you're out there and you're inspecting roofs and you're looking at things, how big, just if you know, out of curiosity, how big does hail have to be for it to cause damage to our roofs?
It depends. So, if we have enough of pea-size hail with 90-mile-an-hour winds,
really?
You can imagine what the damage would be. It'd be like sandblasting a house.
Makes sense.
However, I think that most times, if you get $half size hail, like ping pong maybe, that's probably big enough.
Yeah, that's not terribly uncommon. We get those baseball size occasionally, but more
Great
often than
break.
not.
There was an occasion
terrifying.
a couple years ago, and a lady had waited to have us roof her house in the spring, from the hailstorm the prior summer, and we roofed it, and a couple weeks later it had hail, and it was bad enough she had to get it done right away, and we roofed it again.
Oh my gosh.
Hailed again, remember?
Yeah.
I don't know,
It was like 3 years, maybe?
5-6 years ago.
I don't know.
Yeah, time flies.
I guess it does.
But I just felt really sorry for her. But that's what Colorado weather does to us. So we have no control over that.
Yeah. Well, I know, if my house gets the really big ones, I'll take a look or kind of have an idea of I should have that checked. But you were saying people don't get those things spotted in time. They don't even know that they have damage. How do we, as homeowners, be responsible enough to know, hey, how do we spot damage and go, I need you to come take a look?
Well, that's the thing, Lauren. You're at work. It could have hailed at your house 10 minutes ago and you would never know.
Right.
So, if you have a roofing sign maybe someplace or notice some activity in a neighborhood, it doesn't hurt to call. Here's the thing. Most insurance companies have given you 365 days to make a claim. That's 1 year. So, we're coming up on some of those dates from last year's hailstorms. And if some of those people that have those policies, and not everybody does.
Okay.
But some of those people that have those policies, if they wait too long, it won't be covered under insurance. Just because of the way the policies are written. And there's more and more of those doing that. So, my advice is just call a roofing company. Cornerstone will come out. We do it for nothing.
Yeah.
So, it's not.
Do you have to know exactly when the date was if you call your insurance and you go, I have hail damage?
Well, so that's the benefit that you have of calling a roofing contractor first. We'll tell you the date.
Okay.
It's way better for the contractor to tell you the date than your agent.
Okay.
They'll be pulling up one from 2 years ago. Sorry, you're out of. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Well, insurance is insurance. They don't.
Right.
They're there maybe in a crisis, but we can't. They don't really have 5-star reviews for a reason.
Yeah. Well, but thank God that we have them. I mean, if you have damage today and you call them tomorrow, and they send an adjuster in the next couple of weeks, and you get the roof done, no problem.
So those adjusters, how do they know what they're doing? Because are they calling you, or are they doing it themselves?
No, So they've been schooled. They are licensed adjusters. They're like a contractor. So they're not just somebody that they just decided to hire to go do adjusting. They have actually, probably paid their dues and been there. So
They probably have the same issue you do. Little screws loose. They like to go up on the roofs. I don't know.
I can tell you, I'm afraid of heights. So
Stop it.
No, serious. Look,
How does that work?
we were on vacation a couple of years ago, and we were in a high rise, and my wife was like, "Come here, honey. Like, look over look out the balcony." I was like,
No,
"I can
thank
see
you.
it from here, honey." And she's like,
No.
"What's the matter with you?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm not really a fan of heights."
Me neither.
And so I'm a roofing contractor that's like,
They make special shoes for you guys up
They
there
do,
or whatever.
yeah.
It's fine. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
All right. So I know you guys are also platinum preferred, but I have no idea what that means. Why is that so special? Tell me more.
So a platinum preferred contractor with Owens Corning Roofing. So, first off, Owens Corning is made in Colorado for Colorado. So they know what it takes to withstand some of the stuff, the weather that we have. 1% of the contractors nationwide have the platinum preferred contractor. That's it. 1%. So we're one of those 1%.
Well, you guys have been around for forever,
we
so
have.
I feel like you're not one of those goes chasing the storms to find the things, but you can really have the customer service that I'm sure that kind of like rating requires.
It does. And so what the platinum preferred contractor does is it actually guarantees part of our workmanship. So they've come out, they've inspected our work and said, "Wow, we like your work. You're doing it the way that we want it done." Stuff like that. So
Okay. And that's primarily the most product that you use, is that, or do you have multiple things you can use in different instances?
Like if we come out to your house, Lauren, today, and you say, "Look, I really like this color or this material." First off, I would probably try to tell you that this is very similar in the Owens Corning, but if you're sold on that product, we would let you have
People really like get that invested in their roof? I would be like,
Not
I don't
many.
know, man.
Not many.
Make sure it doesn't leak.
But what I can tell you, the 100-mile-an-hour winds that we get,
Yeah.
we're, again, on the front range. I tell people that we use a Owens Corning duration shingle, and the reason for that is when the wind blows 100 miles an hour next winter and your roof doesn't blow off, you're still going to love us. So,
Well, I saw something else on your website, since we're talking about what goes on the roof. Maybe we should also, this is not really like a winter conversation that we're having, but winter, I don't know how that affects your roof other than wind and hail. And maybe you can talk a little bit about, should I be concerned about this? What's happening?
we really don't. If you really think about it, they call Florida the Sunshine State, but I'm going to tell you that we get more sunshine days than Florida does.
You clearly get more sunshine than Florida.
That's look, I live in the perfect state for me.
Yeah.
Biking. Look, I got 17 grandkids and 8 daughters, and
No way.
we're ATVing and biking and golfing and football practice and swimming and whatever. I don't. It doesn't matter. Let's go. So.
Well, I mean, given your background that we talked briefly about, if you've got a bunch of grandkids, I hope they're also working like you did at 8 years old in roofing, maybe.
I don't think that we get away with that today, but look, to be truthful with you, I did it when I was 8 years old. That's what I was doing, was picking up shingles, and look, they were paying me. That was a few years ago.
It was yesterday. It was yesterday.
It was yesterday. But they were giving me $5 a day, and man, I was rich back when I was a kid. $5 a day when I was 8 years old. By the time I was 11 years old, I bought my mini bike, and I was, by
talk
then,
of the town by 11,
it was
and then
over.
your music career started after that, and it was just to the moon, right?
I wish I could tell you that I went straight from that to music, but I had a few bumps along the way. So.
As we do. Well, maybe that's a great segue into okay, you've been doing this for over 40 years. Cornerstone's been out there serving the community well. What has changed in the industry since you started to now? What are some key changes that you've noticed?
Oh, you guys even put it on your screens, the scams that people, there's so many scams today. people have to really beware. You know,
Okay.
you have it'll hail today possibly. Come on, Lauren.
No, thank you.
But the point is if it hails today, tomorrow morning you could have 30 roofing contractors
Yeah.
knocking on your door. It's irritable, you know. Here, so I'm in your studio today because I'm one of your sponsors. I advertise and
Happy to
I
have
do
you.
the things on KKTV. These guys that come from Texas or Missouri, Illinois, wherever they're coming from, they haven't paid their dues. My kids go to school, or my grandkids go to school with your kids. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We buy groceries at, you know, the same places that you do. Those people are going to take your money back to Texas or Illinois. They're not going to spend it here in this community. When their trucks get broke down, they're not going to fix their trucks here.
And they can't come back and service it if you have an issue or a question or anything else. I think that's really important too. You know, if your customer, like the 5 years ago, has to replace it the next spring.
So talking about the fears of winter,
yeah,
using an out-of-town, out-of-state company, and then having a real issue in the winter of leaking or something, and then what do? Yeah.
I don't know. Santa's coming in extra wide that year or something. I don't know. Oh, man. All right. So as far as products go, has there been a big change or shift over the years? Or are we still kind of using the same technology because it works?
It's pretty much the same technology. The shingles have changed. So they used to be a cardboard filler. You know, back when I was growing up, I'd get on these roofs and they'd be puffed up. You know, they had lost their oil, you know, their moisture, and so today they're fiberglass. Everything's you know, non-porous, so it doesn't absorb moisture. It repels moisture. Yeah, so there's been technology, definitely. The seal strips have gotten way better. There was a shingle back in the day called a T-lock shingle, interlocked. Those have been they discontinued those 21 years ago. So pretty much.
You still see those out there? I mean, we got plenty of homes.
We still see those out there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. It does. I mean, when you say interlocking, that sounds like to me like things shrink and warp over time. You probably might have some issues.
Well, they do, and you know that was the shingle manufacturer's way of trying to make a windproof roof in those days. So, but today that technology, the melt point on some of those seal strips are so low, and they seal so well that they don't blow off. So yeah.
That's cool. Well, I know you guys are really known for your integrity in the community. I mean, we're talking about your involvement here, your investment in the community, and what you bring to the table and how you're different than other companies. And I think integrity is one of those key aspects that I want you to talk a little bit more about how you're different.
So, you know, I've been a lot of places and they say, well, you know, what is integrity? Tell us what integrity's doing the right thing even when nobody's watching. And, you know, I'd like to think that that's the way that I would want everybody in my company to do it. So, you know, if it needs a piece of plywood and we're up there roofing, then I want you to put that piece of plywood. I don't want to have to go back and somebody say, look, you didn't you didn't do it. So, you know, just integrity is the cornerstone of our business. So, you know, I've always tried to do the right thing, always. So,
can you give us an example maybe of how that's looked for you in the past in business or something you saw where you guys proceeded with integrity, but you know that's maybe not the common response?
Here's a real funny thing for me. So repairers, like, you know, big churches and stuff that we do, that we have a relationship with, you know, they'll call us and say, look, our roof is leaking. It's like, let me come out. Let me find it. Let me repair it for you, and I'm not going to charge you. So, because if I charge you and it doesn't fix the leak, you know, I don't want you to say, gee, I paid you for this, and I would rather just bless you with, you know, with fixing that and not have to charge you. So, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I think that's different than how most companies operate, you know? And you work in an industry that can be challenging. You're working with insurance companies, which can be challenging.
Definitely.
Trying to make sure that the client comes away and the customer comes away feeling good about the process. So
absolutely. Yeah.
I don't know. If people are looking and they need to go outside and take a look around the house, what are we looking for? How do we know? Obviously, we can call you, but
The collateral damage, like jacuzzi tops, barbecuers. If your windows, like some chipping or the paint, look at the downspouts. They'll have dents on them.
Okay.
Stuff like that. So, when we go out to meet an adjuster for you, that's what we're going to make sure that adjuster doesn't miss any of that collateral stuff. So
yeah. And you can even help real estate agents out and stuff. I think you guys go out before a house sells sometimes. Yeah.
We do free certifications. So, we help a lot of real estate people. They'll call us before they even list it. And it's like, Rory, I just want to, just get ready. If there's a problem, let's address it now. And so, sometimes there'll be a problem.
Yeah.
It's got hail damage or it just wore out. If it's got hail damage, we'll meet the adjuster. If it's wore out, we'll write an estimate. If it's fine, we'll certify it, throw you a certification.
Neat.
For nothing. We don't charge for that.
That's great. What a great service that you provide for the community, especially, we just see so much of it here. I think these things might not get talked about in other regions, but in ours, it's really crucial to understand what's going on if you're buying a house or in a house and how to take care of it. Yeah?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. It's that's your biggest investment, monetary.
Gosh,
well, I say that kind of lightly. I think these kids today, they probably cost more than the house does.
It depends on the kid. Maybe
That's
so.
probably true.
Well, okay. I know. Lastly, maybe as we wrap up here, is there anything you want to talk about with gutters? Because you guys don't just do roofing; you do gutters as well.
We do gutters, yeah. I think that. So when I started Cornerstone Roofing, I was having other companies do my gutters for me. Huh. And
you just loved roofs so much. You were like, let me climb up there and also do the gutters.
No, what happened was and so I became friends with the guy that was doing my gutters for me.
Yeah.
But I realized one day that all my problems were the gutter. And I thought, and then he came in one day and he goes, you know what you've paid me this year? And I'm like, no, how much? And I went, I love you, brother, but you'll never do another gutter for me.
Shoot.
I made him go with me to go buy a gutter machine. This is, 25 years ago. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And poor guy.
Ah, well, here we are.
And I've been
The
in the roofing and gutter business since then. So, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. All right, well, I'm so glad you came in to talk to us about this. Is there anything else that we need to cover and make sure that everybody knows about before we sign off?
And again, it's just... You're running out of time if you had hail last year.
Right.
Call somebody. It doesn't have to be Cornerstone, but I would call somebody. Have them come look at the roof. If you've got damage, they'll help you. We'll help you. If it doesn't, then it's just just security, right? You know that it's fine. So.
Yeah. Where are you from, Rory?
I'm from Colorado, Southern Colorado.
You're from Southern
Born and
Colorado?
raised in Pueblo.
You and I say roof the same way.
Yeah?
And I get a lot of grief about it. So I'm wondering if you could just say it one more time so we know that it's the right way.
Roof.
No,
Roof.
You said roof.
Rough.
Come on, roof.
Rough. No, I'm just kidding.
It's fine.
Roof.
I get a lot of grief. It's fine.
Do you? Where are you from?
I'm from Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Don't tell.
But y'all got a twang there, right?
No. Oh my gosh. Well,
It's
thanks
been
so
fun,
much.
Lauren.
This has been a blast. Thanks for coming in. We hope you tune in next time to hear more about what's good in your neighborhood. I'm Lauren Nicole, and this is Rory. Thanks for being here.